Stress and anxiety are very real, but so is our ability to heal ourselves. Something I never thought possible. In my early 20s, I was going through a life crisis. I was in my early 20s. I just completed, college baseball. My dreams of becoming a professional baseball player didn't come true. I really didn't know where I was going to go, what I was going to do, what I was going to be. Everything that I thought I was going to be, or everything that I thought that was planned for me, didn't go the way I thought it was. Didn't go the way I thought it would go. And so that was a very difficult time for me. And during that time, I started having anxiety, panic attacks, and they were very, very scary. My heart would race uncontrollably, for no reason at all. I'd be sitting at home relaxing, and all of a sudden my heart would just start beating out of my chest. And I really thought that I was gonna have a heart attack and die. Like, it was super scary. Like, I couldn't believe that I was a college athlete, worked out my whole life, did tons and tons of strenuous activities and exercises, and here I was scared that I was gonna have a heart attack. I didn't know what was causing my issues. So I went to the hospital a few different times, and they would do EKGs, they would check me out, they would say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine." And then one time, I went to see in the hospital a counselor or a psychiatrist, I don't know what it was, but it was a lady, and she gave me a letter and a flyer, and she says, "Hey, check this out." It was signs and symptoms of anxiety. And I started reading the list, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. I have been experiencing all of these. And she says, "Well, you probably have anxiety, and you're probably gonna have to deal with it for the rest of your life." And that crushed my soul. I was like, really? Like, I'm gonna have to deal with this shortness of breath, heart racing, scary thoughts. My appetite had disappeared. I was losing weight rapidly. I stopped being active in fear for my heart rate getting up because I thought I was gonna have a heart attack and die. And it was so scary. And to hear her say that I was gonna have to deal with this for the rest of my life, I was crushed. And she didn't give me any ideas on how to heal myself, any breathing techniques, any diet or vitamin nutrient information that might help heal my gut and heal my brain. And so I was just living this sad life. And I didn't know what to do. And I was dealing this for months and months, and it never got better. And then I did finally see on an infomercial one night when I was up late at night, and this infomercial was for an anxiety and depression program. Lucinda Bassett, I believe. It's been years since I've done the program, but anyway, I ordered this expensive program. I didn't have much money, and I ended up receiving this box in the mail. And as soon as I played the first DVD, and it talked about anxiety and depression and what the symptoms are, and it actually had testimonials of other people going through the same thing I was going through. All this time, I thought that I was alone. I thought that I was this was only happening to me and nobody else. And it was very lonely. I was very scared. But once I found out that this was a real thing and other people are affected by this, it gave me a sense of relief. Like, I'm not crazy. Anxiety and depression affect a lot of people. And so armed with that new knowledge, and armed with some workbooks and some other breathing techniques, muscle relaxation, tension, meditations, and music, and I started to get better. I started to have better thoughts. Instead of having scared, fearful thoughts all the time, I was able to start to change my mind about my condition, and I was able to start being active again, start putting myself out there, start working out again. And also I had to make some serious life changes, some serious habit changes as well, to help me finally kind of get through the mess that I was in. But it didn't stop there. In my career, I have a lot of stress, and I ended up years later getting on anxiety medication. I was on anxiety medication for 7 years, and it did work at first, and it felt good at first, but over time it wears off and it kind of makes you numb to everything. And so I didn't want to be on medications anymore. And so I thought, what can I do? And I ended up changing my diet. I incorporated a whole food, plant-based diet, a vegan diet, no meat, no dairy, no eggs, and ate as many whole foods as I possibly could. And that really helped me get the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that I was lacking. I was eating a bunch of processed foods and, just nothing fresh, nothing really good for you. And so through eating healthfully, it helped regenerate new cells in my body that actually were functioning at the right level and properly and high functioning. My brain felt better, brain fog went away, my energy levels boosted, and I was really into meditation, and I started doing I am affirmations, and I started to listen to other YouTubers, right? Like one of my mentors is Ralph Smart from Infinite Waters on YouTube. He's been on YouTube for many, many years, but listening to some of his videos on anxiety and depression really helped me. And I just knew I had to be tough. I had to be strong. I had to start making tough decisions in my life that would help me to alleviate my stress, alleviate my anxiety. I had to separate myself from certain people, certain circumstances, certain situations that would make me feel anxious or make me feel unworthy. And really what it comes down to is I lacked self-worth. I lacked self-love. I didn't love myself unconditionally. I didn't feel that I was worthy of unconditional love. I didn't feel that I was worthy to feel good. And that was a miserable place to be. But once I found out the power of self-love and advocating for myself, once I found out that I have a voice and my voice matters, my experiences matter, how I feel matter, expressing myself to others was very difficult. It was very hard. But I had to learn to speak my truth even if my voice shakes. I had to make sure that I followed the path that I wanted, instead of following the path that was set forth before from my family, my society, culturally. I kind of was living my life to please other people. My entire life, I was trying to be accepted by works, by acts, by doing good things that people wanted me to do in order to receive love. And it really came down to just, I needed to love myself. I needed to be okay with who I am. I needed to be okay with telling people when I didn't appreciate things. I needed to be able to set up boundaries. I needed to not be afraid of confrontation. I needed to be okay with being uncomfortable. Because when you do hard things, the more you do them, the easier they become. And healthy, successful people do hard things. They have tough conversations, and they're not afraid to express how they feel. They're not afraid to tell people what they really want and what they really need. Whoever speaks their truth, whoever speaks out for what they want and desire, gets it. Those that suppress their feelings, suppress their emotions, suppress their voice, are stuck with what they've got, and they will never get to where they want to be. And so anxiety and depression is super real and is also something that can be kind of good. It can be kind of good to be anxious. It can kind of be good to be nervous, right? A little stress is okay. That can motivate you to do good and to strive to be your best highest self, right? But you have the power to heal yourself. Another thing that kind of helped me along my journey was this book, Mind Change. And I listened to this book, and this woman had gone through all of these physical ailments, mentally, physically, because of her thoughts. And I had done the same thing to myself. My thoughts were so fearful, so negative, that I was creating physical ailments. The chemicals in my body didn't know if what I was going through was real or imagined. Okay? So whenever we have a thought, we release chemicals in the body which create a physiological response. And I was in a state of stress and fight or flight for years, and it was miserable, right? But now I know the power of my thoughts. Through quantum physics, we understand that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So by channeling our thoughts, by focusing on good, by focusing on love, by focusing on self-love and acceptance, and not worrying about what other people think no longer about what we're doing, right? And it's okay to let people be disappointed. It's okay to let people be angry with the decisions that you make. You are not in charge of other people's feelings. It is not your job to make other people feel okay. It is not your job to regulate other adults' emotions. It is your job to control your emotions, be at peace with yourself, be at calm, and understand that you have the power. Once you start worrying about what other people think, you give away your power. If you allow other people's words to dictate how you feel about yourself, you give away your power. You must understand that people's words to you, their opinions about you, their beliefs about you, are merely a reflection of themselves and what they're going through. Okay? So give yourself patience. Be patient with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. And start speaking your truth. Start telling people how you feel. And the right people will stick around and love you for who you are. Because that's all we really want as humans. We want to feel unconditionally loved for who we are and accepted. But you first have to accept yourself. Until you accept yourself, all your flaws, all your imperfections, nobody else will. Nobody else can unless you do it yourself first. Once you start accepting yourself and loving yourself, then you will receive the love and acceptance from those that is necessary. So don't give up on yourself. There is hope. You can do it. You can do the hard things. You just need to change your mind, change your thoughts, change habits, right? Are you mindlessly scrolling all the time, comparing yourself to other people? Are you jealous of other people? Let people live their lives. Focus on you. Focus on your goals. Putting this YouTube channel together was hard for me. I've been wanting to do this for years, but I was always worried about what other people would think about me. How would I be accepted? How would I be looked at by other people? How would my friends and family, what would they think about me? But now I'm free. I'm free to experience true love for myself. I'm free to experience gratitude for my life. All the hard things that I've gone through, all the trials and tribulations have allowed me to become the person I am today, and has given me the fuel to go out and seek truth, justice, and to help others. And so I hope this video resonates with you. If you are going through anxiety and depression, know that this too shall pass. It will be okay. It will get better. There's ways that you can get help. There's people that love you. But again, love yourself first. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and connect with me. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Please feel free to comment below anything that you're struggling with, anything that you're going with, anything that's helped you recover from anxiety and depression. And I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.